Dr. Kemi for Kemi Talks Trump. It's Wednesday, the 18th of June, 2025. Let's talk about Marine One. A lot of you have been contacting me with regards to this helicopter to explain what it is, where they're going, where they're coming from. Well, this is Marine One. Technically, that's the nickname for the helicopter. There's a lot of fleets of these helicopters, and it is operated by the United States Marine. The U.S. Marines take President Trump on Friday to Camp David and comes back on Sunday or Monday, depending on how busy the White House work is. This past week, he came back on Monday, and I have a video at the end that I'll show you of Marine One leaving after the president got off. So let me tell you about Camp David, okay? I lived in Maryland for 21 years, and Camp David is like a country retreat of the President of the United States. They all go there for the weekend, and it's located in the Catoctin Mountain in Maryland. And like I said, I lived in Maryland 21 years. The Catoctin Mountains are they're beautiful. I've been there before. It's officially known as the Naval Support Facility. And the president goes there for the weekend. He relaxes with his family, hosts foreign leaders, and sometimes he conducts diplomatic work. So when you really look at it, the president's taking a break for the weekend, and he still might be working over there at Camp David. And we always see the presidents, all of them will wave goodbye as they enter Marine One. And when they're coming, you can see President Trump waving goodbye right there. And as they're coming, he's getting ready to leave. President Trump is he's touching that Marine guy. That's a U.S. Marine right there. That guy is supposed to be standing in front of the steps with salute to the commander in chief, but then President Trump is doing something over there. What a great man. He cares about everybody. So when President Trump is coming back, you can see him. He'll greet again. You see Melania in that little background thing there. And every president goes to Camp David for the weekend. So 60 miles out of Washington, still in the area of Maryland. And it was originally established as a recreational area for government employees. And then President Roosevelt, Franklin D. Roosevelt, took it over and renamed it Shangri-La. Remember that? Shangri-La. And President Eisenhower renamed it Camp David, in honor of his grandson, David Eisenhower. So there's different cabins in there. There's a health clinic, and of course a helipad for Marine One to land on. Some notable events have happened over the weekend at Camp David, like the Camp David Accords. You remember that? You weren't born. I was born. It was a peace agreement between Egypt and Israel. And it was brokered by President Jimmy Carter, the late Jimmy Carter. And President Carter did a lot of brokering. And at that time, I believe I was about 16 years old. Like I said, I'll be 61. I was 16 years old, 1980 time. Around that time, when they did this Egyptian thing, I was a teenager. So that's the history of Camp David. Now, this helicopter, Marine One is actually the call sign used when a U.S. Marine Corps aircraft is carrying the President of the United States. So that's what they call it, Marine One. No one really knows which one the President is inside of, because the decoy helicopters, they're all identical to the one carrying the President. So it's just a larger part of the security strategy. You know what I mean? For security purposes, Marine One always flies with a group of decoy helicopters. So it's very difficult to tell which one the president is in. Now, the aircraft itself, it's a kind of, honestly, this is not the regular chopper. I used to do traffic reporting airborne with the late Captain Herb Emery, WSB, in Atlanta. Captain Herb taught me a lot of traffic reporting. Bless his soul, passed away. And I went up there with him a few times. So when you see a helicopter, helicopters are different from helicopters at big, The primary aircraft used are the Sikorsky VH-3D Sea King and the VH-60N White Hawk helicopters, The HMX-1, is the Marine Helicopter Squadron 1. okay, which operates these helicopters and is responsible for all the presidential helicopter missions. All these words are big words to you, but the basic thing is it's used for short trips. Okay, when the president is going from the White House to Andrews Air Force Base, Marine One also transports him, okay, or on some kind of C-17 cargo plane for worldwide deployment. They use it for that too. But Andrews Air Force Base is where they park Air Force One. That's a big plane. That's President Trump's plane. Let's say President Trump went to Saudi Arabia, Qatar, and UAE. So, like on that trip, Andrews Air Force Base is where they enter the 747 jet. Like, if you've ever been in a 747, a Boeing 747, you know that plane is the size of a house or an estate. It's huge. Everything's in there. Bedrooms, kitchens, name it, it's in there. And all the cars are in the plane, the convoys and all that. Air Force One has been to Nigeria one time. Is it once or twice? But Air Force One has, President Jimmy Carter came one, two, three. He came twice. One when he was no longer president, one while he was president. President Bush also came to Nigeria, but I don't think he came when he was president. Anyway, Air Force One has come to Nigeria, and I was 13 years old. I witnessed it. I saw cars coming out of the plane in the back. You know how luggage would come out? Big black cars. The Beast, that's the one that the president is in. All these limos, they brought them, it was inside that plane. So Marine One is the one that shuttles the president to the big plane. And then they travel. If you noticed, I'll post some of the videos of the Qatar trip. If you notice, as you know, the president was arriving in Saudi Arabia, the I think it's F-15 fighter jets of the Saudi Air Force escorted him. They did the same in Qatar. It was such a big welcome for President Trump, the greatest president in the world. And I have all those videos. I'll show you guys later to educate you. And at the end of the day, you know, this helicopter is just for the short trips and all. So I'm going to show you one of the footages from inside the White House last Monday when Marine One was leaving. I want you to pay attention to the tail and all the stuff spinning around it. So that tells you that helicopter past helicopter, you know, it's a lot inside Marine One. It's a fantastic helicopter. Thanks for listening. I'll keep bringing you information about our great president.